Hello, my faithful minions, or watchers, or people, human beings that enjoy the analyticalness of my videos. It's time for yet another discussion. So, after a poem I made, or recited, I had remind you that I was going to make a video about polarization of politics, bipartisan, or the polarization, polar opposites of liberal and conservative. Now, they exist. I can't deny that they do exist, but the people who categorize themselves in these liberal and conservative means seem to have like some sort of like falsifiable faith in them. They have undeniable faith. They can't cross the line. There's like this thick like border, like Mexican U.S. border deep line between liberal and conservative. Like there's no outlying lands. There's no liberal that believes in one particular conservative view, and not one conservative that believes in liberal view. Why does this matter? Well, with Obama as he has run for president, many have noticed that despite him being a Democrat, he has served under more conservative means of of his actions. His actions speak louder than words, of course, and the problem stemming from these conservatives is that they don't really like to see that. They don't see that in him. That just because he says he's a Democrat means that he only has he only has the Democratic Party's views or actions and policies. Okay, gay marriage and the claim to get soldiers out of Iraq. Those were, as far as I know, the only two Democratic views he seems to have pushed forward, not just saying it and not meaning it, not following through with what he proposes as change. They only see him as Democrat. They only see him as this particular little card. It's like this little index card of material like personalities. Like, oh, I'm black. I'm like 42 years old. Oh, okay, they're fine with me. I can, whatever. It's just they think he's the devil and whatnot. At least for conservative, fundamentalist, Christian conservatives. And then that's also kind of weird too. That it's weird that to be a conservative you have to be fundamentally Christian, not just a liberal Christian, not a Christian who's willing to see the sides of science and realize that their Bible isn't everything to them. It can't make a Bible error. It's like if I was to take Where the Red Fern Grows and take my beliefs and my facts straight out of just that book. That's exactly how ludicrous it is to try to take a book as something that should be you, that should revolve around you, that it should revolve your beliefs and facts and statements, and that everything else that can't be explained somehow does through the book, even though it doesn't. It's the same thing like I said with the Constitution. I'm not saying that the Constitution itself is bad. There is the idea of freedom. That's the message. It's the messaging process. It's like, okay, the Bible, a fairy tale book. But fairy tale books have morals, right? They have messages, underlying messages, usually good ones. But then these fundamentalists like to throw in these fucking words, and they like to spread the truth a little bit to make it seem like we're out to get them somehow. But anyway, that will be a conversation saved for later. What I'm trying to get at is that it's strange that you have to have these specific requirements. You have to be this, this, and this. You have to believe in viewpoint 1, 2, and 3. And it doesn't seem like it's representative of the party itself. Not the idea that, every individual in the party has stretched their bounds. I mean, there was a particular conservative who didn't who opposed a certain law that was conservative friendly, conservative, if you could say that, and they had him kicked out. They all said, "Oh, he's a piece of shit," even though I think the law got passed anyway, or the bill or whatnot got passed anyway, and just because he had one different opinion, because he was just being an individual. He was being an individual person with his own set points. He's not just because he's in the Conservative Party doesn't mean he has to be stricken down to a strict guideline of specific viewpoints. And to me, that just seems like puppet playing right there. That you have to be strung up by these rules and guidelines, and it's kind of the same with my poetry. Exactly with how I've had to fight for how I write my poetry. That I don't have to go around these bounds that to me just seem like they just made out of thin air. That they're just there to keep us in lockstep. That we have to make poetry the same way every time, with rhymes and rhythm and traditionality and grammar and punctuation, all these little things, and you can't break it just once for the sake of just trying to be individualistic about it. Oh, you want to call me a hipster? A poetry hipster? Whatever? Because, oh, it's cool and whatnot. Doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense, although I haven't been called that. Just trying to make something superfluous, something like that. That's kind of an example, but that's the idea that I've had to fight for my individual right to write how I want to write, not how some certain guideline that hasn't been shown or represented to me, that there isn't some kind of rule book to it. And I'm a Democrat, fine, yes, but I don't entirely agree with the viewpoints and policies that all Democrats have. They expect to tax more and spend more so that they can improve the economy. And with the conservatives, they want to spend less and tax less. The taxing is actually like a sales tax, recessive, with taxing less on the rich. I would think it'd just be taxing less all proportionally with all classes. But I believe that we need to spend more and tax less. Yes, that seems weird, doesn't it? That's just fucking up the whole system. That's bound to keep us from being who we are, trying to have an open mind of a perspective or something like that. That, oh, we can't spend more without taxing more. But think about it this way. If you were to have less taxes, there'd be more money that people would have so that they could spend more. Was that too much to comprehend? Just think about that. I'm trying to think about that. Maybe it doesn't work. I might be just pulling straight out of my ass. This might just be a conceptual thought. I'm just saying that being a Democrat, I'm not saying that I have to stay the flow of the Democratic rivers. Whole weird symbolic message that I can go in different streams and deltas, places unknown, and try to fit in the shoes of some conservative viewpoints, even if most of them seem like they're all ignorant and bigoted and whatnot. I don't want to be ignorant and bigoted, but I don't want to be strained to the idea that every Democratic viewpoint and policy is perfect. Because it's not. It's just not. It's just not. There has to we have to study. We have to study a little bit further on the patterns with certain democratic flows and whatnot in the economic process. But on a majority, I feel like I am more democratic. Even though I did take a test where I was like right in the middle with a little bit more Republican, which actually surprised me. Well, I'm not even sure if I'm not really sure if the whole if the survey that I took was even accurate to begin with. But I humbly believe that I am a moderate Democrat at best. That I share Democratic viewpoints mostly, but I am willing to see the conservatives take on it, just as long as they don't try to throw religion into it, because every time they throw religion into it, it doesn't hold any ground, because you have to explain it to people who don't understand how the religion works, or even people who don't want to know how the religion works. That people don't care. It's a personal belief. It's not factual enough for to make it satisfactory. You can't say that gay marriage is a sin. They're gonna make it mandatory, even though allowing gay marriage is just allowing it. You can't be forced to be gay. You're not forced to be gay. It's just allowing gay people who are already gay to be gay. You can be as heterosexual as you want. You can be as gay as you want. There's no law that is forcing you to not be heterosexual. There should be a law that allows gay people to be gay, to be homosexual, transsexual. I don't know. There's just too many sexuals right now for me to explain. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I am dead tired. And I forgot to make this conversation, and I forgot to clean my damn blankets, so yeah, I have to stay up all night before I get enough to sleep comfortably at night. Anyway, to conclude, try to support individualized. Try to be open-minded about it. Try to span your horizons. Don't try to be on two corners of a boxing ring. Try to get yourself in the middle. Try to see which one is most comfortable with you. I feel most comfortable being a Democrat, but I'm willing to see what the conservative side has, if any particular viewpoints that I would agree with. Not very many, but I will attempt to try.